people of Gonave need a real well-designed, functional hospital.
Approximately how many people, as far as community-wise, does this hospital serve?
Well, it's a 35-bed hospital. In any given year, there will be somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 people who actually spend a day or two in the hospital, some of them for long periods of time. So the average population served at the hospital in any given year usually falls in that range between 1,000 and 1,200. The clinic has about 10 times that come here in the course of a year's time. So it's kind of interesting that we serve, as far as patients, actual patients, between 13 and 14,000 every year. But there are 110 to 115,000 people who live on this island. And there are other little clinics scattered here and there, but this is the only full-service hospital on the island. So for surgeries and for the kind of care that you have to come to a hospital to receive, this is their only option.
What about staffing?
The hospital has mostly Haitian staff. There are 24 Haitian nurses here, and there's one Haitian doctor and a couple Cuban doctors, and then the American expat staff. Right now we have one American doctor and 2 American nurses, but both of our nurses are leaving in the next few months, so we're really short on expat staff. The expat staff help the hospital in a couple ways. One of them is that they work for free. They're funded by churches or mission organizations, and so they provide their service to the hospital at no salary cost to the hospital, which enables the hospital to be more self-sufficient. In other words, the money that is generated here goes to pay the Haitian staff. The other reason is the American staff generally have, most of our American staff are either doctors or have advanced degrees, and so their level of training is higher than what's available in Haiti. So they actually serve in turn as trainers of the Haitian staff, as well as working alongside them. The other thing too is, whether it should be or not, the presence of North Americans here raises the value of the hospital in some people's minds, because they assume that there are going to be high medical standards here. We like to believe that that's true. But whether it should be or not, the presence of North Americans here adds to the value of the hospital in some people's minds. It's a better place to come. But there's still a place, there probably will always be a place for expat staff here to serve on the hospital. But most of the medical staff are Haitians. The chief medical officer is the Haitian doctor. The administrator is a Haitian. So the expat missionary role is different now than it used to be. It's more of a service role and a support role and training role.
It's like what Carol does, teaching at the nursing school?
Teaching and training. Although most of the expat staff do work regular shifts here alongside of the national medical staff. And the hospital does provide meals for some patients, just simply because they have no choice. Some of the patients have no one to take care of them. So the hospital, on a very limited basis, makes food for those patients. Most of the rest of them, their families provide their food for them. This construction site here is to add a kitchen to provide the families of the patients a place to make food. Because now they just kind of squat around here and build fires on rocks and that sort of thing. But this kitchen will give them a place to cook food for the inpatients that are here. There's another construction area right behind us. This is a new bathroom that's being added to the kitchen, or to the hospital. This is a place where the inpatients would be able to have a functioning bathroom. Up until recently, the patients basically used bedpans, and the families who were there to take care of the patients used outdoor outhouses. But recently, the hospital administration has been building a septic system here. In fact, if you look over there, there's a huge pile of dirt there. That's a 15-foot hole in the ground. That's going to be a big septic tank. And all of the septic for all the hospitals being collected into one place to go into that huge septic system. That'll be a real improvement for the hospital. There's a chopper somewhere. Shot right there give you an idea how the hospital buildings are made. Most of the buildings, or a lot of the buildings, are concrete roofed. The old building, as you can see in that old rebar, the rebar is rusty because the salt from the ocean leaches into the concrete roof. And this building is about 40 years old, and the rebar is starting to rust inside that concrete, and the problem is that there are pieces of concrete falling off underneath, and there's a loss of structural integrity when that happens. So this building, we put the metal roof on it, as you can see there, to help protect the concrete roof from the salt. So we probably bought some time with that, but basically this building needs to be demolished and replaced. There is a poor electrical infrastructure and virtually no plumbing infrastructure in the building, and now we're starting to have basic structural difficulties with it. Plus, like so many hospital buildings, it was built in phases, and buildings were added and rooms were added as needed, not necessarily according to any master plan. So the interior of the building is confusing and very ineffective, and we have a real need now for private rooms, because there are people in this community who could afford to pay for a private room, and because our hospital structure now is all wards, they won't come here to this hospital. They'll go to Port-au-Prince. They'll spend all the money, even though they appreciate the medical standards here. They do not appreciate being in a ward and without having a private bathroom and that sort of thing. These are people, some of these people who have lived in the United States and understand how it can be, and it's too bad that we're not ready to serve them, because those people would actually pay, help to support the hospital. They would actually help to subsidize the care of the people who can't pay for their care here. So we really need to do something about the hospital. My dream is that somebody somewhere is going to write us a check for $500,000 and we're going to build a real hospital here. But until that time comes, we do this. We continue to patch on, repair, add the things that we need. But someday I really hope that we'll be able to find an organization or a private donor that's able to say the people of Gonave need a real well-designed functional hospital, and I'd love to see that day come. It's a pretty intimidating obstacle, and we figure it will cost $500,000 to build the basic structure, and then another as much as $200,000 to furnish it with the kind of equipment that it really should have. The surgery equipment, and it needs to be upgraded, and lighting and hospital beds and different things that really are needed here. If we have a new hospital, those things will have to be upgraded as well. So I don't know, God knows.